save human lives. The boy then asks if she thinks they're right. Dawn begins to cry and says she doesn't understand what's going on, and with tears on her face says she's just really scared. After that, a soldier orders his men to prepare to shoot. But before he can give the order, the protagonist suddenly appears in front of him, holding him by the head. The men scream in concern for their captain. Right after that, the boy says that humans always talk about sacrifices for the greater good, and comments that he finds that very hilarious. Then he says that the sacrifices were choices they made even though they had nothing to do with the greater good, and that in the end that logic is just about the persecution of the weak. After all, the strong will always trample the inferior, and that the right to decide will always belong to the strongest. After that, the boy reveals that he made his decision a long time ago, and then crushes the soldier's head awake. But this time, it was the conductor controlling her, saying that in the end, his host was right, and that unless the protagonist could take that girl's life, he would never be able to defeat him. Lee Jane then says that the monster was right, which meant the conductor would have to give up on it, because the moment Eris is completely consumed by the virus, she would kill him. The conductor then says he would remember that. Right after, he says he already heard the boy's story, and that they really had the same goal. And then he asks what the protagonist thinks about forming a partnership, saying that after they eliminate all the humans in that world, he would disappear from Eris' body. The boy, in turn, turns around and says the creature was lying, and the conductor realizes that his rival really can see beyond. However, the young man questions if he really was being deceived. Nervously, the monster says he was being truthful. Lee Jane becomes curious if he would really leave his companion's body, and the conductor confirms it. The boy then asks if the monster would manipulate him and later betray him, and the creature in turn responds that it would never do such a thing. Both then stare at each other without breaking eye contact. After that, the protagonist turns and walks out of the cave, calling the conductor to destroy humanity together. Her even killing people as and deaths being the embodiment of human sin. But what would happen if humans were on the other side? Right after, Eris comments that in the story her companion told her there was her and Dawn, along with the son who took care of his elderly mother, and his mother who fought against the world for him. The boy asks what she means by that. The woman then says that all the people he killed had nothing to do with his losses, and that they were also someone else's whole world. After that, the girl says that even if she can't criticize him, she still refuses to just sit and watch. After that statement, both fall into silence. Then the girl, even after a life of love for its master, a dog is still beaten to death, like a bird deprived of the light of life, fattened to the point of no longer being able to fly, only to be eaten afterward. A person who has already endured countless wounds and deaths, being the embodiment of human sin. But when she committed, and that if she is caught, they will definitely kill her. She stays silent, listening to that conversation. After that, the girl says that her mother always told her to just survive. After hearing that, the protagonist remembers his own mother. The girl starts crying because she couldn't even see her mother on her deathbed, and says that even if her life is useless, she must above all keep her promise. Right after, Eris takes the child's hand to comfort her. Lee Jane walks past the two and heads toward the sea. When he touches the water, the boy realizes something is coming toward him. His companion is confused and asks who it is. Using his abilities, the boy discovers that there are a total of 48 enemies. The girl panics and says they are the people looking for her, and says that if the dew stays there, they will also be captured. Eris tries to calm her down, but the fugitive asks if she isn't understanding the situation. After that, she comments that with that many soldiers, it's definitely a large unit. However, the protagonist tells the girl to shut up, and says it's all right, because his mother always told him she would protect him. The girl in turn says she knows how strong his friends are but doesn't believe they can handle it. However, Lee Jane replies that she doesn't know their strength. While looking at the protagonist, the fugitive starts to believe he must have gone crazy. The boy says it doesn't matter who his enemies are. No one in that world will be able to kill the girl on that island. Right after, the protagonist tells the girl that she was going to live. After a month, that dissolute island came to have a new name. Before, the place was known as Jagdo, but due to global issues, the English nation began calling the island Blood Island. A group of soldiers is arriving on the island by boats. Seeing that, the protagonist tells his companion that he knows she doesn't like this, but this time he has no choice, and that at the moment, the only thing important to him is her life. Eris in turn nods to show she understands.